Opening up in the box office this weekend, one of the films out there was the brand new 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Of course, the follow-up to 28 Years Later, which was the follow-up to the previous couple of films that had come out. And two things are true. One, the reviews are spectacular. Rob, I know you saw it. Now, I left for Denver on Wednesday. I literally just got back at 3 a.m. this morning. Ann and I went to Denver to go watch the Bills-Broncos game. And we just got back 3 a.m, so I haven't had a chance to go see it yet. But I know you loved it. A lot of people loved it. We'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second. But not many of you people went to go see it.
Yeah.
As it turns out, as reported here in the Hollywood Reporter, box office 28 years later falls to Avatar 3 with a soft 15 million MLK weekend opening. Its real verified opening weekend number was 13 million. Now, to put that a bit into context, let's take a look at this. When you look at the question, what happened? 28 years later, The Bone Temple took a 56% drop from the opening weekend of 28 years later, which itself wasn't that big of an opening. $30 million. A lot of people thought that movie, when it was first announced, a lot of people thought that could be a $100 million opening film because of the reputation of 28 Days Later and so on and so forth. But it had a $30 million opening, and now this new one dropped all the way down to a $13 million opening. And I think when we ask the question why, I think the answer might be in the numbers. Obviously, when we look at this chart, at the first 28 years later had a very solid 88% critic rating. I'm one of the people that I didn't actually like it that much. There were things about it that I really liked, and overall, I didn't think the movie was terrible, but I didn't really enjoy it. I was kind of let down by it. Anyway, and that's kind of reflected. The audience score is 63%. And it went on to make a $30 million opening weekend. Now, this movie, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, it has a significantly better audience score at 93, but a massively better audience score with an 89%. Obviously, the audience liked this one a lot more, but it only made $13 million. I think the culprit number here is that 63%. I think it's just a reality that, and there are other factors. This isn't the only factor. But Rob, to me, I think the prime suspect about why this movie took a 56% drop in its opening weekend from its previous film is that there were a number of people like me that were just kind of either ho-hummed about 28 years later, or were not all that taken with it, or found it underwhelming or disappointing, or maybe straight up disliked it a lot. And they just weren't going to come back to see the sequel, despite the fact that every, report we heard was that it was magnificent. Again, I was on the road for the last 3 or 4 days, so I haven't had a chance to see it yet. But Rob, you did have a chance to see The Bone Temple. What did you think about the film, and what do you attribute less than half the people going out to see this one?
Well, first of all, to be honest, I thought it was a masterpiece. And it clearly, 28 years later and 28 years later, The Bone Temple are one movie. And even though Nia DaCosta, by the way, Nia DaCosta, can we just talk about?
Kills it.
Absolutely kills it. I've been obsessed with Nia DaCosta. I've been watching interviews with her. First of all, she is an imagination connoisseur par excellence. She was a total film nerd as a kid. She's worked on sets for all the great New York filmmakers. I mean, she is the real deal. I thought the Candyman extension that she directed was really interesting. And by the time you get to the end, I thought it was good. Boy, did Marvel not serve her well with The Marvels. They should have.
That movie is over maligned, in my opinion. I don't think it's one of Marvel's better films, but I thought it was better than a lot of people give it credit.
I went back and watched Hedda. I hadn't seen Hedda, and very different kind of a movie, but she's the stuff, man. She is the stuff. And John, The Bone Temple is first of all, you've got an incredible Alex Garland script that is it's very literate. It's multi-layered. I was absolutely, first of all, it works as an incredible film, a regular movie. That works on many levels, but it's also an incredible horror film that delves into the very core of faith. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. And by the end of the movie, this climax of this film, as one of the characters says, "You put on a really good show." And Ralph Fiennes. I think you and I have a Ralph Fiennes obsession a little bit.
Huge.
I love Ralph Fiennes. I want to be Ralph Fiennes in The English Patient. What that says about me, I don't know. I want to be Lenny Nero in Strange Days. I do not want to be Amon Goth from Schindler's List. I don't. But Ralph Fiennes is easily one of my favorite actors. The performance he turns in this film is it's an extension of what he was doing in the first movie, but he takes it to a whole new level. The man is fearless, and he is not a modest person.
Remember when we were at CinemaCon in April, Nia DaCosta came out on stage, and she was talking because they were promoting 28 Years Later, but then they also said, by the way, we also have 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple coming out after that. And Nia DaCosta comes out on stage, and one thing she says, I got to hang out with a shirtless Ralph Fiennes for 4 months.
Yeah, and let me tell you, she is a queen. This woman is the real deal. You know, I think that she will be the next woman who wins I mean, Chloe Zhao could very well win another Academy, another Best Director award or something. But mark my words, Nia DaCosta is going to be one of our most important genre directors and directors of all movies in the next 50 years.
So let me ask you.
She's amazing.
As somebody who loved the film.
Loved it.
It made less than half on its opening week. What do you attribute that to?
I think you're exactly right. I think there are a lot of people that didn't get what I went back and watched 28 Days Later because I hadn't seen it in a long time, and it's leaving Netflix at the end of the month. And I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I can understand why. What they're doing with 28 Years Later and 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, is a very different kind of a movie. It's unbelievably visceral. 28 Years, The Bone Temple has some violence that out of control. I mean, the stuff that goes on, the horror elements are amped up to 11. It's so great. But it's a very literary film. I mean, I hate to say this because it seems, I don't want to come off as like being snobby, but the first 28 Days Later is very visceral. It's very much in your face, and it gives you. But these two films, especially together, because I don't think Bone Temple really works if you haven't seen the first one. I mean, you can still watch it and love it, but it's very literary. These movies are very literary in their conception, and they're dealing with a lot of heady ideas. I think once people hear more about this, the word of mouth hopefully will drive a second weekend box office. Because, dude, I was sitting in that movie the whole time going, oh my God. It's one of the best horror films. I mean, we are living through an amazing period of horror. We're getting, if you like your lowbrow horror, we got that. But I also saw Primate, which I thought was a hoot.
I had such a blast with Primate.
I'm watching this movie from its John Carpenter-esque score to Primate was a movie. They understood the assignment.
Yep. And listen, I want to know, because when I came out and I said, listen, this is some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard in a movie. The dialogue was terrible. Like right down to, whoa, these girls know how to party. I'm like, oh my God. But the movie's so much fun.
Dude.
It's so much fun.
They knew what they were doing with that movie, and they went for it. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It's a slasher movie. And you know what? The poster in the theater, I saw at the Spectrum, you know, there's something wrong with Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you've got two movies about what Ben, the Ben movie, Willard and Ben from the Ben, the Michael Jackson song from the 70s. You've got two movies about killer animals named Ben. Who would have thunk?
Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Apparently, everybody is loving Bone Temple. I can't wait to get out and see it in the next 2 days. Again, I've been on the road for the last 4, so I haven't had a chance to see it. But everybody else seems to love it, and yet nobody went to go see it. What do you attribute that to? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.